before we get underway, I will do a nice big recap, and then we will jump into where we left off. So last time it had been a month after everyone had first met each other kind of for the first time, and they all had these like separate little areas where everybody got to hear everybody. And hold on, just replying. So after that, and everybody met up and did everything. Let's see, who was called? I gotta remember. Yes, Captain Knightley, Commander Arhat, and Lieutenant Commander Jahan were called to Admiral Olent Charathi's office to meet with everybody and to discuss footage that they had discovered 17 hours ago in Starfleet headquarters lobby. They had seen a ape-like humanoid type person walk from like the exterior garden area into the main lobby and come in and start talking, but nobody understood what they were saying, and that Commander Lieutenant Commander Jahan had noticed that the type of speech that was happening sounded very Icelandic, but it still had the panty and the hoots that normal like Earth chimpanzees, like apes, do. This ape was in robes and he was donned with various jewels, and he has a little crown. We saw the image last week. So after, in his frantic state, trying to communicate something to someone who we don't know, was taken to Starfleet Medical, or taken to Starfleet Intelligence to help translate what was going on, to break down everything. But within a few hours, he fell ill and was taken to Starfleet Medical and then died. And to make a point, I talked about it separately with Adri. I don't think I covered it well last week, that the reason why the three were not made aware of it earlier in like the hours is because they didn't have the what he said translated, and he didn't say a lot, so they had to like, it took them a while to break down what was said. And so by the time they got to the point where they were like, oh, he's saying people's names that we know, he had already passed away. So after talking about that and asking questions and not knowing much about anything, and I believe the Admiral discussed the new engine, the previous Drake situation. He dismissed the chief engineer and discussed with the captain and the commander everything that was to be expected of the Drake and what their positions, what the Drake is expected to do, which is to follow up what the U.S.S. Lexington has been doing. And the U.S.S. Lexington has come to Jupiter Station to make needed upgrades and have a big overhaul of their entire ship. And that is going to take a better part of a year. So the Drake is kind of on their own, and they will be dealing with the south. I forgot what it was. I had it here. I guess the southwest sectors of the Federation. They're trying to expand deeper and deeper out into territories that need assistance. And did they find that very much when they were building Starbase 2? They discovered as they were building Starbase 2 that a lot of non-Federation and just Federation planets there need a lot of medical assistance and need a lot of help. There's been a lot of issues, a lot of problems. So Starbase 2 is expecting the Drake in 3 months, and the base will be completed in 4 months. And sadly, with this intense, surge of medical assistance, Admiral Foxwell, who is there, is not really. She doesn't have auxiliary medical training. So she's been kind of put on her paces. So they've sent a whole host of Denoblians there who know medical things very well. And multiple medical teams have been sent to that station, even though Admiral Foxwell is in oversight. She runs everything, but the Denoblians are overseeing most of it. Like hands-on, they're hands-on. So the orders for right now are to go to Starbase 12, take on Starbase components, medical supplies, and an engineering relief crew. At Starbase 12, Captain Knightley is to meet with Admiral Narsu and go from there. Then, before the captain and the commander were dismissed, the admiral brought to their attention the transfer that Commander Arhat had put into place to have Lieutenant Sova transferred off the Drake, and they addressed that. And I think we generally remember how that played out. That Arhat was doing it because he had to kind of bypass a lot of things, and he was really suspicious of him, especially since what the Andorians and the Vulcans encountered years ago from the Pajem incident. So he's been really skeptical of what Vulcans are doing with sensors and scanning and things of that nature. And Lieutenant Sova was brought to the office, and Sova explained his position and why he did what he did. And he was more or less given a kind of a tap on the wrist because he didn't really feel that Sova's actions were necessary of a very bad reprimand. But he also knows that the captain and the commander, by extension, will take care of anything that needs to be overseen. And in the form of, like, I was like punishment, but just like any type of conversation that needs to be had, they'll take care of it. Okay. So then so everybody travels to Starbase 1, where they meet up with Dr. Ray and Ensign Clark, who had been there waiting to depart. They board the Drake. You all get aboard. There was a scene between Ensign Clark and Jahan, where they kind of had a brief little interaction outside of Jahan's quarters, kind of going over how Jahan must feel about being on the Drake again after the incidents of last year prior. And then Sova came from his station and went to the captain's room and asked to make a general scan of the engines and of the ship before going to warp. And Commander Arhat was suspicious yet again, and followed after getting approval from the captain. Followed Sova to the thing, made scans, didn't find anything other than that the engines had been working like I think I said like 0.04 or something. They had worked a ever so micron. They were performing ever so better than expected, and obviously that is because of Ensign Clark's proficiency. He knows how to get a little bit more out of it than is what's on the blueprints and what's expected. So that's where we are. So I believe where we left off is Ensign Clark and Lieutenant Commander John. We're going to the engineering. We're going down there. I think so. I don't think you guys are going somewhere else. If you are, you can just let me know. The captain was still in her ready room. Sova and our at the science station, and Dr. Ray was in the sick bay, and Milek was at the comms. Now she did give an order to start to Starbase 12 at warp 5. That was how we ended it, was the ship warping away. So we'll cut right as Captain Knightley says her little phrase to go to warp, and I'll have her pick up this scene with anything that she wants to do before we do a jump cut to Starbase 12.
Okay, so Captain Knightley is going to call Mr. Sova into her ready room. And then I assume he's going to come in to her ready room.
He says no.
He says nah.
He says not unless you have a good reason.
Make it good.
It better be good. I totally hang on, you guys. Sorry. I thought I had my notes all in one nice thing, but I did it in two different things. Okay. So she's going to have him sit down. We're gonna have a nice chat. A nice chill chat. So she's just gonna basically just get right to the point because neither Vulcans nor she is interested in a whole lot of chit chat. So she's just gonna say, Sova, I'm sure you're well aware that I am aware of the undercover scans that you performed. And before I jump to any conclusions, I would like to just give you a chance to explain yourself.
Explain myself for what? I thought this matter was settled.
I'm sorry?
I thought this matter was settled with the Admiral.
It was settled with the Admiral. I would just like to settle it between the two of us. Is there a reason that you felt you couldn't ask someone for permission? Is there a reason you felt you had to go undercover, as it were?
I do not know what you're speaking of. I was directed to make sure that the ship was safe from radiation, and I was taught by my father that you need to have different points for the experiment to make sense. If I just came in and started scanning things when the ship was operational, I wouldn't know if that was normal or if there was some sort of background radiation that was being hidden. So therefore, to make sure that I had all the information that I needed, I came in when the ship was deactivated.
Okay, well, fair enough. I appreciate the attention to detail and the security of our ship that you're very clearly concerned about. I was told that you looked into some files that you didn't necessarily have the clearance to look into. That's more of what I'm referring to.
Oh, I was not aware that those files were classified. They were on still on board the ship. I didn't require a password to type in. And I thought this was a good baseline to have my findings.
Okay. Well, I believe I would like to believe you that you that you didn't feel that you were doing anything wrong. So I will take your word for that. And I just would like to remind you, or maybe not remind you, but just kind of be honest and straight and say that in the future, I would appreciate being made aware of things. Like you asked me earlier to scan the ship. I do appreciate that. And of course, you know that we will always follow the proper chain of command. And this is not anything that any of us know how to deal with. So I do appreciate the thought of security for our people. So you're not in trouble, I'm not angry with you. Everything's fine. But in the future, of course, we will do things the proper way in the proper channels. Additionally, I would just like to tell you that between you and me, of course, we don't tolerate any kind of racism on this ship. And I would like to thank you personally as a Vulcan with your Vulcan morals, that you will help me to make sure these morals stand good and high on our ship. So with all that being said, your vigilance is appreciated. Feel free to continue running your scans. And is there anything else you'd like to say to me before you're dismissed?
Not that I'm aware of.
Very good. Well, then you're dismissed. Thank you.
As you wish. And then I get up and leave.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
So
Nice
does our hat kind of side eye Lieutenant Sova as he walks back to his station very stoically, to kind of always. Okay. Very good.
As a security officer, he's always looking and making sure who's there, who isn't there, and what's going on.
Constantly watching.
Yes.
So I'm now on the bridge.
You would have gone back to your station, your science station. Yep. Nice. There he is.
All right. So next up, we'll call a staff meeting, but like an hour has gone by, I guess. I gotta turn my heater off. Hang on. Now I'm sweating underneath my heating pad and blankets.
This captain's a real piece of work.
What's that?
Nothing.
I'm gonna
Nothing. Nothing. Your captain-ness.
So that's what you want me to do, Will? Is
Yeah. So I think I think I have everybody, but I don't know if John. So behind Andrew, if Andrew can, will that stay, Andrew, if you move? Yeah, okay. Yep. So see the way in the background, there's like a rectangle way in the background that has like a monitor, like in the center of the screen. Yeah. So anyways, that is where the conference is. That's where all of the senior staff meets. It's not like Next Gen or any of the other things where they have like a nice table where they all sit at and talk. You all stand around this little kind of like computer monitor on a table, and that's where the conference stuff is held. So it's held awkward. It's held on the bridge, but in the back, like behind. So
all the people, everyone who's not invited, basically, like all the ensigns and stuff, like they can hear.
Kind of. There's like there's like a couple people who relieve around the bridge, but it's not like a whole thing because everybody's just going to go back to their stations. Okay. So it's like, somebody's at con and somebody's at tactical, but that's it. There's lieutenants and ensigns who cover that. Yeah. So there you go.
So
it's this back room.
Right here is where we all stand.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so the ready room is not like a sealed off room.
Her ready room is, if Andrew points to it again, her ready room is to the down. Yeah, that room. That door where he's pointing is her ready room.
Okay.
That's where, like, when you've seen the show, that's where, like, Archer talks to everybody in that room.
It's like the war room.
Yeah. So that's her captain room. Not her quarters, but her, her room. So when everybody comes up,
that's a private area.
That's a private area. Okay. Yeah. So that's when she talked to Sova just moments ago. She was in that room.
So she would come out, say, we have a meeting, and then go here.
Right.
Yeah. Come into my second room.
My
Come out of this
ready room.
My not private area.
Almost ready room.
Getting ready room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close to ready. So so we'll say that an hour has passed. She's letting everybody kind of acclimate and get a look over their stations, see how the Drake has been running for the last hour, and then she's going to hold a little conference room with senior staff, so all of you plus the doctor, and she will hold it.
Is Ensign Milak a part of our senior staff or no?
Yes. Yep.
Because I'm gonna forget about him all the time because
That's
he's
okay.
not
That's okay.
a real person.
He's fake.
He's fake. All right. So I'll just start with like we're all sitting, or I guess we're standing around this awkward little table in the back.
Yep.
There's not enough room for chairs back there. So
perfect. So first off, I would like to address the elephant in the room. We're all a little unnerved at the situation that we're in, especially Lieutenant Commander Jahan, I'm sure. So it's possible, that we could all die too. We don't really know what's going on. I'm sure that's running through our heads. So I'd like to just kind of get that out of the way. We are taking as many precautions as possible, of course. Lieutenant Sova has been running scans. So we're going to keep those up. And I just would like to tell you all that I want you all to report absolutely anything strange as far as, I don't know, anything that you find to be odd or not working the proper way, because the reality is we don't know what happened. So nothing is too stupid or dumb or insignificant to report. Doesn't have to be directly to me, but a superior of some sort. I guess for you guys it would be me. I don't know how my command works. So that's that. And we're gonna, of course, keep doing all that we can to find out what really happened and make sure it doesn't happen to us. And secondly, I would like to let the rest of you know that Commander Saarhat and Lieutenant Commander Jahan and I were called in today to discuss with the Admiral of a very strange encounter that they had with an unknown species. It was an ape-like species that showed up at Starfleet Command. And he knew the linguist couldn't identify what language he was speaking, so we don't really know what he was saying. And the very unfortunate news is that he's now dead, so there's no way to communicate with him. But what he did say was the name of our ship, the Drake, my name, and Lieutenant Commander Jahan. So we're gonna keep our eyes and ears peeled out here. I don't know what that could possibly mean. The Admiral didn't know, but of course they also don't know what he died of, but they're doing autopsies, and we're going to be finding out more from them soon. And the Admiral's also going to be in contact with the planet who helped give the previous ship upgrades. I can't remember the name of that planet. Do you remember, Will?
Or Corden.
Okay. So just in case, they might be aware of some ape species that we're not aware of. So that's fun. And and then thirdly, I wanted to let you guys know that our doctor, Lalesa Ray, she does have somewhat unconventional methods in her practice, but they are effective. They're approved by Starfleet, and we're going to adhere to her expertise. And we're going to allow her to do whatever she needs to do. And so as I'm sure we're going to get some complaints from the crew, but as we stand here. It's our job to support her. So that's what we're gonna do.
And I think she would chime in and say, "I'm here to help." I think is what she would say.
That was a very good, sweet Ashley voice.
I love sunflowers.
Yeah, she's like chewing sunflowers. Seeds. Okay, and then lastly, I just wanted to inform you all of our mission. For those of you who don't know yet, because I assume there are people who don't. So I have orders from Admiral Rothy that the U.S.S. Lexington, our sister ship, is being sent to Jupiter Station for major overall repairs. And that's going to be expected to take a year or more. So we're taking her place. And we will be representing Starfleet in the Galactic East sector. And as you know, we're
South.
Oh, Galactic South sector. So I just got a thing in my earpiece.
Yeah, Milek says, "Really, the East? I thought the Avenger takes care of the East."
Oh, you're right, Milek. South. Very good. So, yeah. So as you all know, we're one of the 4 of the only NX ships left, of course. So we will be representing. And obviously, right now we're on our way to Starbase 12 to pick up supplies, and then we're heading to Starbase 2. So those were my points. I appreciate all of your cooperation and support and all your concern for our crew. Look forward to working with you all. I'm excited to get to know you all better. And I told Commander Farhat on our first meeting, but I'd like to tell the rest of you as well that you can talk to me. I'm not a captain who thinks they know everything. So if you think you have an idea that's great or mine is stupid or whatever, let's talk. So no worries. I do, of course, expect to be, informed of things and all that, but yeah, I'm not a know-it-all. So I don't know everything. So let's work together. Is there anything you'd like to discuss?
A recommendation I have is, because we are on our own and Jupiter is being outfitted for a year, we should make sure of what every system is capable of doing before we need it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. You want to take care of that?
I can look into that.
Okay.
We will have to coordinate with the different science officers and engineers to test every system, but it's best to make sure that everything works properly.
Agreed. All right. Well, then, yeah, you've got the go-ahead. And let me know how that's going or what I can do.
Okay.
That sounds like you'll need the help of Lieutenant Sova and Commander Jahan and Ensign Clark.
Yes.
Yes.
I may need help talking to Sova because I am not the best at talking.
Yes. Okay. Anyone else? Anything else to discuss? No? All right. Well, then I would say that you all need to work together to get that done, and let me know how it's going. If there's nothing else, we can dismiss. Okay. Dismiss.
Nice work.
I would like to say I appreciate everyone for accepting my presence aboard the ship. As you all know what happened last time, I will do my best to prevent anything like that from ever happening again.
Very good. Well, we're happy you're here, and we hope nothing happens like that again, especially to us.
Very fond of ourselves.
Yes, we don't. Yeah.
I just wanted Adri to be like, I said we were dismissed.
Yeah. No.
I was waiting for
Knightley might, but Adri can't.
Okay. All right. So before we do our month slog, I'm gonna have everybody write down or put down or whatever you want to do. I'm gonna give everybody their either like their assistant or their like filler when you guys are sleeping. Okay. So these are like your people to communicate to if you need to. Don't have to. It's just in case they're going to be names for you to interact with. So I'll start with Adri. So your person, Adri, is Commander Tilly, Tilli, and then I think it's Z Relis, ZH apostrophe RELISS.
Okay.
RELISS, yeah.
What species is she?
She is an Endorian with pale blue skin, short white hair. And when basically the top row here, when you're gone, Mike's gone, and John is gone, she's your overnight captain. She sits in the seat when you're sleeping.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, good?
Yep.
Okay. Mike, your person is Lieutenant Commander Sanden. SONDEN. Sanden. He is a Denoblian male who's bald. He has no hair. And he has a large, kind of grisly scar from the back of his left hand all the way up his arm, all the way up to his left, underneath his left ear. Just so you can imagine him, it's not really not necessary for his role. But he is the guy, he is your second in command. So anybody that you have to defer to, like if you have to stay at the bridge and you need somebody to go and deal with it, he's the guy who's going to go deal with it. You can essentially use your communicator to talk to him. Or if you leave the ship, he takes your spot.
Okay.
Okay. John.
Excuse me, John.
Yes, John. Your person is Lieutenant Charlotte Rabassa. So Charlotte is CHARLOTTE, and Rabassa is RABASSA. She is a human female with warm skin tone and long black hair. She fills in for your comms when you are not at comms. And she's Hispanic, but that doesn't really matter, but that's what she is.
Oh, it matters. We have to visualize things.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Who's next? So I'll say who Ashley's is. I'll have her repeat it for her. Hers is Lieutenant Takoda Mescal. So TAKODA ME, and the last name Mescal is MESCAL. He is a human male with short, medium black hair, with also warm skin tones. Or he is. I don't know if you would call him Native American or indigenous. He's of Native American descent. He is her nurse. There's that. Okay, next is Andrew. Andrew's person is Ensign Sarang Choi. So the first name is Sarang. That's the first name, Sarang or Sarang. And then Choi is the last name, Choi. She is a human female, light skin, medium length, black hair. She is your science officer whenever you're not at the station.
How old is she?
She is in her early 30s. And she is Korean descent. And then Caleb's, last but not least, his guy is Ensign Lodak. 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 He is a Vulcan male with dark skin tone and short black hair. So when you're not in the engine room, that's who's there. Yeah, this Vulcan male. And that's it. Those are the people. So if you guys ever need to, like, I don't know, call for something, or you're like, you want to play out a scene where you're like, you're relieved so and so, now you know who to say, and blah blah blah. And you can have more imagination of who fills the ship. For all those people who love lore and backstory.
Who I can talk to if I don't want to talk to Sova.
Correct.
He can talk to Silva for you.
That's right.
Yeah, he can go talk to
Lieutenant
Silva.
Choi.
Yeah, it was like
Ensign Choi.
Ensign Choi, like, why doesn't he ever talk to Silva? No, he only talks to Ensign Choi.
The funny thing is, we're going to be standing there giving stink eyes to each other, apparently. I'm over here, and you're over here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's glaring. Okay, so before I make the 1 month, 7-day journey to Starbase 12, did anybody want something to be played out or whatever? Anything of that nature? Andrew says no. John definitely says no. Everybody says no. Caleb, though, he says absolutely not. Okay. So it has now been I was told that in the month's time, that Dr. Ray is getting the sick bay stocked and getting it prepared for everything that may happen as the journey goes on. So we'll cut to you're probably about an hour, maybe 30 minutes from coming out of warp to dock with Starbase 12. And it has been a long time. Haha. So, okay, I got it. Nice. Okay, so before I cut to it. Copyright, it's claimed. Before I cut to that, I'm going to because Ashley might see this, so we'll all wave hello to Ashley. Hello,
Ashley.
No, yep, no, that's okay. That's okay. That's a decision. And then this will be my cue for the intro.
I will take a chance to be who I'm meant to be. I won't let fear keep me from trying. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. 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 I'm never giving up.
Now we're back from the intro. So, and Adri, and then
Okay.
Adri, you take it away.
I just would like to ask a singular question. Is this still episode 1?
This is still episode 1. It's part 2 of episode 1.
Part 2.
Because we got to use up our determination point for the end of the episode.
Well, before the end of the scene, which I think scenes have already ended, really.
Well, no, because it's one determination point per episode.
Oh, determination.
He's not the eyes. He's talking about.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So take away when she starts to read. You have 5 momentum because it's a new scene.
Very good. Okay. I don't have my Oreos this time.
We have 5 momentum now.
Yeah, you'd lose the momentum every scene.
Okay. 5.
Okay. It says Drake Starlog, Captain Harper Knightley, August 1st, 2173. We're being sent to Starbase.
Sorry,
12.
August 29th. August 29th.
August 29th. 2173. You're gonna have to edit that. We're being sent to Starbase 12 to collect the necessary medical supplies, Starbase components, and the engineering relief crew for the nearly finished Starbase 2. My orders are to help with the finalization of Starbase 2 and discuss with Admiral Foxwell what is needed in the southeast, southwest, right?
Southeast
sectors of the Alpha Quadrant. Admiral Rothy tells me that Admiral Foxwell may not be suited for her new assignment at Starbase 2. So, reluctantly, I'm ordered to assess her capabilities in this new situation. Meanwhile, I'm becoming better acquainted with my new command, the U.S.S. Drake. I'm still somewhat hesitant captaining this vessel, knowing what happened to its previous captain. Captain Varsh was a good man. As for my crew, I put my trust in them, and I believe they are experienced and prepared for anything that may lie ahead.
You going to help me? No.
So 30 minutes go by or so, and you come out of warp, and outside of the system of Starbase 12, you can see it. It's quite a little ways away, but it's enough to see. And Starbase 12 is an older Vulcan station. It's something that the Vulcans have built about 15 years ago. And it's been repurposed as a Federation station now. It's no longer just the Vulcans run it. It's a cohabitated starbase. So the exterior, it's kind of like, imagine like a UFO type thing. Circular kind of all the way around. It domes, and then at the top is another smaller kind of circular part, and then it kind of comes up with a big, at the very top of it is like a big cone, like a ice cream sundae, like waffle cone, kind of like upside down. That's how it looks. And it's very kind of like silvery and bronzy and has all these little lights and things, and you can see it. I have like an AI picture of it, but I'm not in love with it. So I'll still show it to you, but it's not exactly what I had in mind, but it's close. So it's kind of what I had in mind.
Cool.
So, but that's what it looks like generally. Okay, so Milek docks with the station, and you ride alongside it. The little extender bridge comes out for the Drake, and you lock on, and you're good to go. You have officially, after 1 month, and I think 5 days is what I said. 7 days, 1 month and 7 days. You have officially docked at Starbase 12. So, who is getting off the ship? Is everybody getting off the ship?
Well, I know I have to.
Okay.
Would Silva have a reason to go off the ship? Because isn't it just dropping stuff off?
You're picking things up. So you let's see. Mike's character is free to do what he pleases. Jahan and Ensign Clark would meet with the chief engineer of the station, and Dr. Ray and Sova would meet with the medical officer of the station.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just ask you, Mike, what would you like to do? Because you're free to do whatever you want.
If we have enough security in the loading bays, I would be checking out just on the initially just off the ship, making sure that there's no security issues with that area, because there will be people constantly moving around, and I wouldn't want people going onto the ship. I would want to post people in key points to make sure only authorized people get onto the ship and get off the ship.
Okay. So you're going to kind of be in between like the cargo bays that are getting filled, and then like entry points where the airlock is, like along the ways. Like you'll be shifting throughout those areas, like overseeing everything. Okay, cool. Okay. So okay, yeah. So the 1, 2, 3. So the 5 of you, including Ashley, walk off the Drake, and to envision what it looks like on the inside is basically the walls are garnet looking. They're like garnet in color with like tan trimming, and the carpeting is like a cobalt blue with like sand colored Vulcan symbols and markings on the carpet, like throughout the entire flooring. And it's what they would call a promenade, right? It would go in a big circle. So like when you come off the airlock straight ahead, it goes like in a big circle. And in the middle, there's the wall that when you come off the airlock, there's this wall, and then so many feet across, probably like 20 feet or so is another wall, and that's like the inner circle wall, and then there's your outer circle wall. And around this entire thing there are vendors, there are people who sell things, but primarily there's a lot of food here. There's a lot of places where you can get something to eat. And there is some remaining purple and green lighting that it was previously installed from the Vulcans that they haven't taken out yet. And as you'll notice, as you walk through the Starbase, much of the crew walking around are Vulcan. That's just what it is. But the interesting point is most of the high-ranking Vulcans are not on the ship. They are elsewhere being used in the Federation. So other species have filled in the gaps for the high-ranking. So a lot of the people who are in charge here are not Vulcans, even though all the supporting crew are. Okay, so I will give you the fun little breakdown. So you have a vendor for Vulcan food, Vulcan beverage, Denoblian food, Andorian food, and human food. Those are the vendors that they have. So I have 3 different meetings. Who would like to go first? Who would like to meet with whoever first. Doesn't matter.
I would say I could go first because Sova would like beeline.
Okay.
He wouldn't, since he's been here before, he wouldn't explore. He would just immediately get off ship and head for the
Sounds good. Yeah. So Dr. Ray is going to follow you because obviously she's meeting with the doctor, this other doctor. So the two of you are going to meet, and you, Andrew, and Ashley are meeting Dr. Salvador Gutierrez.
That's a name.
It is. It's a nice name. So he is a human male in his early 50s. He has a thin mustache, brown hair, warm skin tone. He has short to medium length hair. He's about 6'3", and he is the chief medical officer of Starbase 12.
Was he the doctor when I was here?
Yes.
Okay.
How old did you say he was?
He's in his early 50s.
Thanks.
Yep. Good. Okay. So he sees you and he says, "Oh, Lieutenant Sova." He says, "Come in." And he goes, he goes, "I've heard a lot about you, Dr. Ray. I've read many papers that you have published, but goodness, I have never seen really an insight. Amazing, amazing." So they have their little exchange there. She's very excited to meet him, and he's very excited to meet her, and they have a nice little interchange of happiness, and he's very pleased to. He's kind of like in a nice revering way, but also like that kind of like scientist way. He's very fascinated with how everything that she does. When she talks, he's looking at her, but he's also like watching like how the muscles move when she talks and her wing. He's kind of like medically and scientifically like examining her in the sense of like he's fascinated by how she is because he's never seen one of her species before. Okay. So he says, "Before I continue going on, these are the supplies that need special attention." He says, there are multiple cases of these things, and these are the things I need you to keep an eye on. And they are Dermaline gel. I see Andrew writing down.
Okay.
Protodinoplasers.
Okay.
And chorophysine.
Okay.
Do you want to know anything about them, or are you're good?
I will try to think. So are these substances just fragile, or are they explosive, or
No, nothing explosive. They just need to be the gel and the drug, which is the cordophysine, just needs to be in a cold environment. And the protodinoplasers are just sensitive, so they just can't be jarred around a lot. They just can't, you don't want to drop those boxes. They're sensitively, they're what would be the term, like finely tuned.
are they able to be transported, or do we need to carry them by hand?
They can be transported on normal like hover, what they call anti-grav things. They can be. That's fine. You just got to make. He would recommend that you just don't put them on top of the pile. Like they should be on the ground.
So I take it the gel is a semi-liquid. What about the
Yeah. The other one, the protodinoplasers are like tools. It is kind of like a cross between a hypo spray and like a tricorder type thing. It's just like it's an piece of equipment, and the other thing are pills. They're like things that would be crushed and put into a hypo spray or broken down. You know what I mean? They would be. However,
And are they the pills and the gel? Are they hazardous if someone were to take them without proper supervision?
the drug is not, no. And if you had put a lot of the gel on, it would just, you might get like, essentially like might feel lightheaded because it's like too much, but that's pretty much it.
And what type of boxes are they looking at? Because that's not a question I'd ask him. I'm saying when I'm looking at him, is it like one of those Star Trek silver?
Yeah. So yeah, the gel and the pills are in like a kind of a short, I don't know, probably like briefcase size, but it's like thick. It's like, it's like big things. There's multiples of them. There's like 30 of them. But the tool thing is like almost like in a thin, almost like like when you slide a laptop into a cover, like that's what it's in. It's in one of those type of things.
So I'd ask, are these containers secure? Like, can we stack them on top of each other, or do they need to be separated for transport?
Nope. They can all be separated. They can all be placed on top of each other, except he would recommend not putting the proto dinoplazers high. Like don't stack them at the very high. You know what I mean? So in case something gets,
we put them at the bottom and stack everything on top of it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay. So then I would excuse myself and go look for a transport, the hover.
Oh, the anti-grav thing? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much it. He would just have back and forth and just explain to you, because he knows that really you're just coming to help things up. And he would also be walking with the three of you to the cargo bay and like loading it. He would also accompany you. So he wouldn't have to be worried about remembering all that. He would be there helping you too.
Okay.
Anything more, Andrew?
Just so I wouldn't ask him, but am I sticking these all in the cargo bay? Because it sounds like they should all be in the medical bay.
You could put them in the medical bay. Yeah, Dr. Ray does have storage in there, but it just depends on what kind of space she's got in there. Okay. So
that would be up to her, because it sounds like something that she would, if she had the room, she would want in the medical bay.
So we can probably, I think it's safe to say that Ashley probably would make room for it and put it in there so that, nothing bad happens to it.
Okay. So I think that's it for me.
Okay. Very good.
I feel like she'd put it in the closet with all of the other advanced medical technology that she chooses not to go with it first.
Just cram it all in there.
Yeah, just a packed closet of all this stuff that Starfleet had given to her.
Hey, if it's a nice big container, she could use it as a table to put all her sunflowers on.
Perfect. Okay, then we will have Jahan and Ensign Clark meet with everyone's favorite Lieutenant Theg. Lieutenant Theg, Theg. He is a Tellarite. He's male and he's in his 40s. He has a huge beard. And he has like brown mustard colored hair with medium length hair, and he's 5'5".
Do you guys know what a Tellarite is?
I think Caleb may. I don't know if John does.
Definitely.
I'm just
very familiar.
Just a warning. Tellarites like picking fights. So
we can take.
I'm just saying, when you go to talk to him and Wilk says you're ugly and he wants to punch you in the face, that's just he's not being sincere as far as like wanting to pick a fight. That's what Tellarites do.
He has a dwarf personality then, like a
Correct.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's Lord of the Ring, Star Trek. That's pretty much that's what it is.
perfect.
Vulcans are elves and Tellarites are dwarves. There you go. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
that's
space dwarf. Okay.
So okay. So he's in like his alcove thing where like the power is for the Starbase. That's where you will find him.
Wonderful. So I step off the ship with Ensign Clark at my side, a little behind me. He's following me. Well, Ensign, I believe we should get right down to business and head straight for the human food concession stand.
100% agree.
Perfect. So we make our way over there.
Okay.
And we talk to whoever's manning that station.
Oh, sure. His name is Chef Matteo German.
You have a...
Yep.
Okay. We don't care about his name. We just want food.
Okay. He serves Slovenian food and burritos.
So I peruse the menu, and I don't see hamburgers.
Nope, you don't see that.
Unfortunately, Ensign, it looks like there are no human hamburgers. Despite the name, they are not actually made of humans. Or ham, for that matter.
That is true. That's true. It's so funny how you and I are exactly the same. I was thinking about a cheeseburger.
Yes. I remember on our first meeting, I suggested a cheeseburger or hamburger.
That's right, you did.
It's an Earth delicacy, and yeah, I know you being from a space station that you may not have had the pleasure. Unfortunately, It seems that you still won't have the pleasure. So I've lost my appetite. I feel we should get moving unless you wanted something to eat.
No, we'll swing through on the way back.
Good thinking. All right, so we make our way to the alcove.
Okay.
So, Ensign, it seems like we're looking for a Lieutenant Theg. Eyes to the ground. He's very short. Perhaps he finds us.
Okay, yeah, okay. So so you round the corner and he hears the word short is what he hears.
Oh, God.
And he comes out, he stomps out and he looks and he sees Ensign Clark. And he looks down and he sees your robotic hand. And then he looks at Jahan and he looks up and he sees your metallic antenna. And then he kind of stares off and then says, did they send me bloody cyborg people to take care of this? And he says, which one of you said short? It's the first thing I want to
know. Just speaking of your temper, Lieutenant.
Very good. Yes. I see that you have dealt with Tellarites before. Very good. Very good. Of course. And you, Ensign Clark, that is a fascinating piece of technology on your arm there.
Thank you.
Can it make a fist?
Yeah, I can do more than that.
Very cool. Well, I won't keep you any more. I won't keep you long here. I won't waste your time like you're wasting mine. What Station 2 needs are these two crates over here. And he walks across the room and he goes over and he pops open the two crates. They're about the size of I think you both have seen it. You guys ever seen like when they roll out the cardboard, like the baler machine makes the cardboard and it comes out of the machine? I know, John, if you've seen it, Caleb, where it's like a huge thing of cardboard. So it's basically that size and that long, and they're both that big. And he opens up both of them, and he says, "In this box," he goes, "Starbase 2 has been having variance problems in their plasma drives. So these sub-emissive transmuters will help with the variances." And then he says, and in this other box are multi-beaming auto emulators, and they will keep it from reoccurring.
So why haven't these been installed already?
He says, he says that the reason they weren't installed in the first place is because they are using new technology that the Federation is trying to bring about. They're using plasma drives to keep things regulated rather than keeping the station in like in an orbit where it self regenerates, like it keeps its power. So he says that they're using these plasma drives, and now they're having a lot of variances, and they're not able to adjust them with any of the tools that they have.
Will they be getting the Starfleet upgrades at some point?
Yes. This is what the multi-beaming auto emulator is. That'll be the thing that keeps it from. That is the Federation technology that will be fixing it. That'll fix it. You're gonna first deal with the variances by using the sub-emissive transmitters, which will fix the variances, so that you can go in and use the other tools to keep it from. Yeah. So one is like basically he's looking at it. It's like the pipe is leaking. This tool will stop the leaking, and then the other thing will patch the pipe so that it doesn't continue to leak. It's like that's how to look at it.
Lieutenant Feg, is there a team on standby ready to assist?
You are he says, from my understanding is that you are loading up the engineering relief team they're my own people here that I've trained. They're going to be the ones installing it, but I'm having you two oversee it so that when those idiots don't have any idea what they're doing, they can talk to you idiots.
Perfect.
All right, I suppose we should go and meet up with this team.
Okay. I won't keep you. I've got things to do, and I'm sure you do too. And so he closes the two things, and he says, "Are you going to put this on the ship, or am I going to put this on the ship?"
It seems you have a team for a reason.
Yes. And he goes over to he laughs, he chuckles himself and goes over to the thing, and he presses the comms unit, and he talks to the head engineering support crew member to have them report to this alcove to ready up the shipment to go onto the Drake.
That's right. As I always say, work shorter, not harder. Isn't that right, Lieutenant?
I can't think of anything too quick to say back there. That's pretty good.
We walk out before he can respond.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, actually. Okay. So we'll leave it at that. I mean, you guys can go and talk to the support relief crew. There's not much there. They're just gonna explain to you that they're just there to install it and oversee. Like they're the hands-on guys, and they know they're to report to you two, but they're not. They don't really have any other. You know what I mean? They're just like
pretty routine stuff.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing really elaborate or drawn out about anything. Okay.
Are they staying on that base?
Yeah, they'll be there for a year.
Okay, so we're just dropping them off.
Yeah. Yep. They'll get transport back to 2 when they're done. Because basically what's going to happen is we're going to come, Drake is going to come unload these guys, and then you're going to take on the other crew and go, or no, the other, another ship, a Vulcan ship is going to come pick up the other guys and take them back to 12. Because there's already been a team there working for a year. Okay. So if everybody else is good, I will move on to Adri.
Okay. So I will just make my way down to Admiral, wherever Admiral Foxwell is. I don't know. How do I?
This is Admiral Narsu.
Oh, I thought I was like, oh, because we're not at.
You're not at 2,
Okay.
you're at 12.
What am I doing here then? I'm just
You're
going to
meeting
get
with
components and stuff, right?
Yeah, so your chief medical officer and science officer collected the medical things.
Mhm.
Your chief engineer and collected the components and the engineering crew. So you're meeting with Admiral Narsu to just essentially, you're just doing like captainy things and meeting with him, and it's a meet and greet. You're just
Joy of joys. Okay.
it's what captains have to do.
Ugh. Okay. So yeah, I'll go find. Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
It's a guy. I'll go find this dude somewhere.
Okay, well, he's in his office.
Okay, then I'm gonna head straight to his office.
Okay, so you go there. He has his secretary is outside.
Okay. Hi, I'm Captain Knightley. I'm here to see Admiral Narsu.
Oh, Captain Knightley. Yes, I heard you were coming. Has it already been a month? Wow. Okay. Well,
It
let me
has.
just amazing. Let's let me just call him here. So he turns over and he pushes the comms thing, pushes a couple buttons, and he says, "Okay, yeah, he'll be right with you."
Okay.
You wait, maybe but go ahead.
Can I get an update from because Adri knows what's happened, but Knightley doesn't know. So is
Okay.
this all happening simultaneously, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I wouldn't necessarily know that.
No, basically, when you've gone up to the receptionist to say, "I'm here to see Captain Narsu," Jahan and Clark are at the hamburger counter,
Okay.
and Sova they're at the Slovenian restaurant place, and Dr. Ray and Sova are in the medical bay talking to Dr. Gutierrez.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you wait 25 seconds, and then the door, you hear him say, "Come in."
Knightley kind of she's preparing herself for human interaction for a half a second, and then she walks in and says, "Admiral Narsu, nice to meet you. I'm Captain Knightley."
"Captain Knightley, I've heard so much about you." And he comes around his desk, and what you see is an Ithanite.
Oh.
An Ithanite male. Nope, he's in his mid to late 70s. He has gold skin. He's bald. And he's 4 feet tall.
Okay. Talk about short. So is this a real speed? Is this a will?
No, this is a real Star Trek species.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she'd have a hard time finding herself completely unfazed because I can't imagine she's ever met an
She's
ice.
seen him before. She's seen him pretty, but
Okay.
What is this species?
Yeah.
Easonite.
Ethanite.
That
Okay.
is it
Oh.
ETHANIT?
Oh, here we go. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Huh.
He doesn't have the little fez hat. He's normal.
Well, that's disappointing. Okay. Geez, I don't even know what I would what she would say in that situation. Just like I think she would just kind of like stand there, like, oh, okay. I hope it's been good.
Yeah. He's really pleasant. You can get from him that he's really excitable and he's really happy and he's just fascinated with a lot of things. So
Okay.
he's kind of has like ADHD type of
Okay.
like a personality where he's like, oh wow 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 wow. You know, it's like,
So
that's all
his
kind of-
personality then would like really kind of like jar her a little bit.
Sure.
Like
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
kind of a lot like, oh, okay, hi,
Yeah.
trying to
He
get
goes,
used to it.
He goes, hey, well, please stop, sit down. Anyway, and he walks you to the chair. He walks he doesn't like obviously hold you, but he like walks you over to the chair.
Okay.
And he
All
goes
right.
around his desk and he says, Captain Knightley, my. He goes, I am so happy to talk to you because there are not many people that I get to talk to. I don't interact with a lot of people because there's not a lot of people to talk to, and there's just not a lot of things to do, and we don't get a lot of visitors. So it's been a while since I've seen the Lexington, and they haven't been here in a while. So I talked to Admiral Rothy for quite a long time, and I am very excited to talk to you. So
Okay.
let's get right to it.
Yes.
So he goes on to explain to you what has been happening between his station 12 and station 2.
Okay.
He explains that they've seen a lot of medical issues and they've been diverting them all to Starbase 2 because they have more room. They don't have. They're closer to deal with the problems. Starbase 12 has been trying to do what they can by sending these supplies and sending things to help them, but that's why Starbase 2 is being built, because it's like, oh, there's a problem. Well, that'll take us, months to get to you. So they're trying to be closer to essentially, it's like basically stationing like hospitals and emergency respond units closer so that they can handle everything more appropriately.
Sure.
Okay. So he goes through that and that's what he just talks about for a hot minute. Very quickly and very fast paced. And then he does tell you, he gives you a bit of warning that he he warns you that 6 years ago, the U.S.S. Essex disappeared. And that Captain Schumar and his crew all went missing. And they don't know where they went, but he always tells every ship captain who docks here and continues forward into space to be aware of these things. Okay. And obviously, you out of character, Adri or Knightley would know of the U.S.S. Essex. You have heard about it. It reached you. It happened years ago, so you would know about it. So it's kind of old news, but at the same time, you understand why he's telling you, because it was him who, he didn't captain. He's like Admiral Rothy to the Drake.
Yeah.
He was that to the Essex.
Okay.
So he gives you that warning. And he says, but here's a bit of information that I think that pertains you'd be more interested in. He says, a week ago, Captain Belmont of the ECS Silk, a transport ship who stops here frequently, spotted a small craft entering the Nolax Nebula.
Okay.
According to the Silk's sensors, the nebula is giving off strange radiation, so the transport avoided the nebula. So he suggests investigating the nebula on your way to 2 to see if there is a small craft still in this nebula or in the nebula at all. And if there is, make contact with it and establish some sort of relations with it or perhaps render aid.
Okay. We can do that.
So that's what he asks.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll add that to our list.
Okay. So then he just asks you a whole bunch of stuff about Earth. He's going to go on and on about Earth, and because he hasn't been there in a while, and
Okay.
he hasn't seen the headquarters in a while.
Well, I'll just
So-
tell him I myself haven't really been on Earth that long, so he probably knows more than I do.
You see him be kind of sad. He's like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's okay."
But it was great when I left it, though. It was really good. Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yes. I'll be happy to see it again sometime soon.
Mm.
I liked the
So-
ocean a lot. That was cool.
What did you like a lot?
Ocean.
Yes, the ocean. I love the ocean.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, so that'll conclude that. Seeing we can leave you talking there, and then everybody's going back and forth. So before we push everybody back onto the Drake to continue to 2, does anybody want any other things?
The only thing I was thinking is
Mhm.
the Vulcan Cafe quiet?
Is the Vulcan Cafe quiet?
Yes.
Yes.
So if
Hey.
if I finished all my work and had free time, I would go get a meal there and sit in the pool.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna go get to does the human place have coffee at least?
There is a Vulcan coffee place, and then he has coffee. Yes.
And I'll go to the American coffee place and have a cup and sit down.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't think Vulcans drink coffee.
Yep. It's their Vulcan mocha.
Mm-mm. That sounds pretty good, actually.
Is the Vulcan Cafe quiet? He says.
Yes. It's very quiet.
I guarantee it's quiet.
Well, you never, because riffraffs could be in there.
That's true. Like those Andorians.
Yeah, you never. They let anybody in there. So
Most of the Andorians are eating across the hall at the Andorian chef place.
Do they have red bat at the Endorian place?
They do have red bat at the Andorian place.
Are they just staring at each other?
Nature.
Yeah, wrote down all these things. So if anybody ever wanted to get anything anywhere, I could have it all.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So other than having a meal and coffee, if I can move forward or no?
On the way back,
Okay.
or on the way to the crew, I step aside once again to the American, or not the American, the human food stand,
Right.
and I call over, what's his name?
Oh, Chef German.
Yes, I want to see the chef. I call him over. I say, you might want to consider getting cheeseburgers in the future.
Oh, He says, you're the first person to ask for a cheeseburger. He goes, I did just recently add burritos, so I could add cheeseburgers.
A burger is much like a burrito, and that it is a sandwich.
Yes. Well, I've never had it, but if you are curious, and there is a Denoblian place across the way, and they serve sausage there, and that's sort of like a hamburger.
I'm gonna go try that.
Okay.
I walk over to the Denoblian place. I force Ensign Clark to go with me. I call him over.
I like how Clark doesn't have a choice in this. He's just.
I'm just happy to be out of the engine room.
He doesn't want to offend me, so he's just doing as I'm harmless right now, so why not? Ensign, they have sausage at this Denoblian restaurant. We should give it a go.
Like sausage sandwiches or just sausage in general?
We'll have to find out.
All right.
Yeah, Ashra will have walked into the Andorian place, got red bat, which is a type of stew, sits down by himself, and has an odd smile on his face.
The ensign and we get large plates of just sausage. For some reason, it's not in bread.
No.
We're a little upset, but we've been eating space chips for like a full month, so. And we see open seats at the commander's table, and we join him. Commander, I see there's open seats. You won't mind if we join you, correct?
No, I don't mind.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we sit down.
Is this how sausage is usually served?
To be quite honest with you, Ensign, I only ate cheeseburgers. I've never had this before. Its texture is similar to that of a cheeseburger, though, minus the cheese and the sandwich.
We had sausage on the space station, but usually you put it in a sandwich or you put it on a pizza. Or I've never just had a plate of sausage.
Neither have I. Those Denoblians, though, we should incorporate ourselves into their culture.
I agree.
When in space, as they say.
When in space.
He is shoving those sausages in his face. There it is. Perfect.
That looks real rough.
It is.
It beats space chips.
It says it's pink color and often garnished with vegetables.
Oh, it's not supposed to be pink.
Yeah.
Well, it's Denoblian, so.
It's a different pig source then, huh?
Yeah. It's like to be like, did you pick it up? You're like, it's not supposed to be pink.
What's that Klingon boar thing that they eat?
Oh, targ. You mean like targ meat?
It's like a pig.
Yeah, targ. Yeah.
They're our pet.
Yeah. Cool.
Andrew, what do you think about the sausage?
It's not bad.
Rather chewy.
I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get it again. I don't think.
It's no cheeseburger.
I sure hope I get to try one of these cheeseburgers at some point.
Commander, that looks like a dish from the homeworld.
Yeah, it's red bat. It's a type of stew.
Yeah, not sure if I've had it when I was younger.
My mother used to make it all the time.
Mm.
Looks a lot better than the sausage.
I recommend
Is
it
there?
or the sausage.
Should I ask you first?
So the interesting side note is that red bat is considered edible by some people.
Mm.
So it's not like it's a preferred taste. So it's obviously to Mike's character, he grew up on it. It's yummy.
Perfect. I think I should have got the burrito. The next space station we go to, Commander, I'm not following you to any food stands.
I'll let you take lead next trip, Ensign.
Well, the really great thing is the next station is primarily run by Denoblians.
Oh, good.
No.
So if you love Denoblian sausage,
Come for the space station, stay for the sausage.
I really miss the old replicators.
I suppose that's it for me for that.
okay.
We just sit there and eat and have general conversation.
For a
More
brief,
so with, I say more so with Isaac as opposed to the commander.
And is that how
Basically
you
just crash the commanders?
is that how you had your conversation though? You sit there and go, "We will have conversation." Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
yes.
Just super aggressive with it.
Okay. I thought for a second there you were gonna see Lieutenant Silva sitting by himself in the quiet Vulcan cafe and like go right over, but no, that's fine. I just thought that's where it was going first.
Similar
Yeah,
vein.
very similar, very similar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, there's too many Vulcans in the space station.
Okay, so you all board the Drake. You load up everything. You put everything on, and everything's good. We'll have Jahan will go down and he'll make sure that everything looked nice and neat for the components. Clark goes back to the engine room because he's ready to. Oh yeah.
I will read my
full
rounds,
of
checked
sausage.
in with everybody to make sure no unauthorized people entered the ship and
Yep.
everything went where it was supposed to go.
Yeah, I of course made sure everything was done before we all got back on.
Yeah.
I threw my sausage out on the way out.
I'd be a little bit more hands-on because I would actually go to every single room and just make sure.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Made sure no Vulcans got on.
That's right.
Oh, so we time jumped, right? From the time that we had the staff meeting or whatever we're calling it.
Yeah, it's been like over a month.
Yeah. So what was the status on that and like department thing that we talked about? I assume good since we're here. Remember in our and Michael's Arhat's idea about
the thing he was
departments.
doing. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if that should be brought up like just solidified or if we just assume it's fine because we didn't die on the way here, basically.
Yeah, I would also put in the suggestion, because we had no problems at Warp 5, to pick up the pace a little bit. I know it can do 7, but I wouldn't go anywhere near 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
as of
no.
yet.
Nah, we ain't doing 7. That's I don't think we could sustain that. So yeah, I mean, um I would talk to Jahan and Clark and make sure like what do you think, like 5.5 or can we go to 6? Like what do you guys think?
I can't do it, Captain. That engine, Captain, is capable of whatever you would like.
Okay.
You could
You want to
also
go 4? We'll go 4. You want to go 5? We'll go 4.
I was thinking you don't have to stick at 1. You could be like, oh, we'll go 6 for this amount of time, then we'll go to 5, then we'll go,
Yeah.
I was thinking when in Star Trek, when they initially did a test, they would start out at like 5,
Yeah.
and then move it up to 5.1, 5.2, 5.3,
Yeah.
and little
Okay.
by little increase, making sure everything is good at every
True.
increment.
Yeah. Okay. So let's Knightley will give the
Test.
order to what's that?
We should test out our weapons too, make sure our weapons are dialed in and functioning, and
I think that's
all
what Mike our hat did in that month.
Yeah. So is it safe to
Okay.
assume then, Game Master, that all of our departments checked out and everything is running well and
Yes.
efficiently? Okay.
Everything is running efficiently.
Okay. So then Knightley will
if
give the
anything,
order.
to say if anything, it's running a little more efficiently because everybody's on high edge. So everybody's like really making sure that everything's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So she'll give the order to increase by 0.1 every, I don't know, day, I guess, and make sure that it's going well until he gets to 6, and then we're going to stabilize it at 6 and run more tests and everything. We're not going to go over 6 until we see what,
Okay.
talk about it with the engineers.
Okay. So do you want to, are you going to bypass the nebula and go right to 2 or stop at the nebula? It is on its way to it's not out of your way.
Well, I told the guy I'd do it, so let's go.
Okay. Okay. So it'll take you at 5, it'll take you 2 weeks and 4 days. Or if you're doing 6, it'll take you between, if you're doing 5, if you're doing an increment thing, at 5 it's 2 weeks and 4 days, and at 6 it's 11 days. So it'll be in between that.
Okay.
It'll probably take you like, we'll say like 13, 14 days.
Okay.
Because you're doing like an incremental thing.
So I'll just let the command team here know that that's what we're doing. We're making a pit stop. And let Arhat and Sova be aware that like 1, security, and secondly, like science scans and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Also, Will, how's food work on our ship? Is there like a chef?
There is a chef.
So I'm gonna talk to the chef and I'm gonna tell him, what's our chef's name? I assume you have one.
Chef Orlak Vinar.
Chef Vinar.
He's a male Bolian. He's a Bolian.
Okay. I'll say to him, I've caught wind that one of my officers would like a thing called a cheeseburger. Is that something that you can make up
Yes,
for us?
I can absolutely make a cheeseburger. No problem at all.
Let's put that on the menu for this week then.
Okay, I will do that. So he's blue, he's bald, he's in his mid 40s.
I love
he's
him.
Blue.
He's blue.
Yeah. Yep. He's not, but here's the interesting thing. He's not an officer. He's enlisted.
Oh.
Yep.
Cool. What's his name again?
Orlak Vinar.
Cool.
Chef
What was he, Will?
A Bolian.
Not to be confused with a Tholian.
Right.
Bolian.
Or a Bajoran.
Because they ran out of unique names.
What was his last name?
Vanar.
Does he make a good what was the soup that they always got in Voyage?
Blow-meek soup.
What is it?
You were talking about the Vulcan thing, blow-meek
Yeah.
soup.
Does he
Yeah.
does he make a good blow-meek soup?
He makes okay. Obviously, by your palate, it's okay. Because with him having a Bolian tongue and mouth, he likes things a little spicier, so it's a little more. It's not like hot. It's like obviously it's not like just pleasant to you, but it's just not. It's not like bland. It's has a little more flavor to it. And you keep telling him basically to keep making it blander, and he does, but it's still not bland.
To him, it's probably vile. The Vulcan.
He doesn't. Yeah, he has a hard time making it basically be like kitchen drain water. So it's like
Yum.
just make it warm and put things in it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to send this to Adri.
That's where we all die.
I'm gonna so you guys detach from Starbase 12 and you head in the direction of 2, and about 13 days later you come to the edge of the system of the nebula. And this is what Adri will read.
Captain Starlog supplemental. Upon arriving in the ITNA system, how do I say that?
Yep.
Okay. My orders are to investigate the Nolax Nebula and discover if a small craft is within it. If there is, we are to make contact and render it aid if necessary.
Okay. So I won't go too far into this because I see what time it is. I'll just have us do some minor things and then we'll get into it next time. So you arrive in the ITNA system. The ITNA system has an orange dwarf star and the Nolax Nebula. So what would you like to do?
Okay, say that again. There's a large dwarf star and then who?
Orange dwarf star. And the Nolax Nebula. That's what the nebula is called. The Nolax.
Okay.
And that's what you see.
So scan the area.
Nope.
Okay.
Pick up a ship.
Andrew is scanning.
Hold on, I gotta check something. Because I have testing a theory, which is if I did a scan before.
Okay.
So it's the same field as what I've succeeded before. I can add a +1 dice for free.
Okay. Well, it is like like another scene removed. So you would lose.
It's the same episode.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I forgot to say also remove another momentum because it's a third scene.
Okay. Momentum.
So you're saying because you scanned before?
Because testing a theory says if I completed a task that was science or engineering, if I do another task that's of the same field,
I see. Okay.
Add a dice for free.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So
who wants to roll for the ship?
I can.
Okay.
What am I rolling? 220?
You're rolling 120, I believe, right, Andrew?
Yep, 1d20. Because the ship is assisting me.
Oh wait, no, he would roll 2 because it's
no. He rolls 1.
He rolls 1. Okay.
Because I'm doing the task, so I roll 2. The ship is assisting me, so that's a 1.
So Caleb, so
Andrew,
you're science and control, and Caleb, your sensors and science. I don't know what the ship numbers are. I don't have it in front of me.
What do you
I have the ship.
Sensors.
Yep, sensors plus science.
Sensors is 7. Science is 3. That's a 10. I rolled a 17.
Okay, this is difficulty 3 because it's a class 3 nebula.
So I shall use my technical expertise, which says if I'm being assisted by the computer, I may reroll 1 dice, including the ship's dice. So therefore, Caleb gets a reroll.
I have that perk too.
Is it are you able to use it because you're not using computers? You're using sensors, not computers.
Well, it says if I'm being assisted by the computer, I may re-roll a dice. And it goes to the ship's dice.
I don't think you're using the computer. You're using like there's a section of the ship called computers.
Don't know because it specifically said if I'm being assisted by the computer, which is what Caleb is doing, is rolling for my assist from the computer.
Well, he's rolling the assist from sensors in the ship, not the computer. The computer is like the library, anything like that.
Let me check. Because this is important for later.
Yeah. Oh, so there you go.
The cheeseburger.
I see it, Andrew. You're fine. So it's whenever you attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors.
Yes.
So it's either or. See, that's why when you said assisted by computers, that's why I was like, oh, it's not the same, but it is. It says on technical expertise, it's either. Okay.
So
you may re-roll. Yeah.
So I get a re-roll?
Yep. Caleb, you get to re-roll the dice.
And I need to beat a 10, right?
Right.
Yeah, he had a 7, so he succeeded.
No, I had 17.
Oh, 17. Oh,
that's why I'm having him re-roll.
Oh, sorry. Okay, very good.
16. Sorry.
So not much better. Do I have any? Because I don't think this it doesn't count as a radiation, anything with radioactivity, right?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, so I can use that focus?
Yep.
So then I get 4 successes.
4 successes, okay.
Because I rolled an 8, a 9, and a 3. So the 3 would count as 2.
Okay, yeah. So you can you get 1 momentum. You can either use it or bank it.
I shall use it for information.
Okay.
I want to know. So basically, first, what do I learn from my scan?
So you learned that it's a Class 3 nebula. It affects the sensors, weapons, and engines, and that there is a form of radiation in the nebula that you would have to collect to analyze further what effect this radiation has. It immediately doesn't come across as like, it's not going to harm you. It's not like a type of radiation that like melts away your skin type of stuff,
And I can't.
But it has some sort of property to it. No, not without having like a lab. You wouldn't know.
Okay. And do we have a lab like that?
Yes.
Okay.
But you would have to, you'd have to go into it essentially to collect it.
Oh, okay. So I can't.
Right.
Is there any? I want to use the chip to see? Is there any sign of ship activity?
Okay. Yes, you can see on the sensors that there is a capsule inside the nebula.
Like a escaped capsule or
yeah, pod? like a small, the size of like the NASA space capsule when they like detach. Kind of like the size of an escape, a little bit bigger, but like an escape pod.
Okay. How do we get it? Do we have a thingy we get in, right?
Yeah, we have grapplers.
Grapplers, yeah.
So before we continue, is there any other questions anyone could think of about this capsule that they want to ask.
Is there sign of life on board?
Yeah, is there a signal from the capsule?
So you haven't scanned the capsules. You only scanned the nebula.
Scan the capsule.
Okay, scan the capsule. I want to know where it's from. Like, who is it? Where is it originating?
So you want?
But wait, before we go on to scanning the capsule, is there any other questions we want to know about the nebula?
Are there any planets that show life in the area
With that,
nearby?
Not very close. No.
is there any? So because I have studious, which is when I ask a question. When I use a momentum, I get a bonus question.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the bonus question. Is there any warp signatures or anything?
No.
Okay. So now I'm going to attempt to scan the capsule.
Okay. The capsule is, again, a difficulty 3 because you're scanning within the nebula. So now it's security sensors and con insight.
I have to do con insight to scan.
Yep. But you can have somebody else do it. You can have Ensign Melek do it.
What's his? Because I have a 12. What would his numbers be?
Let's see. Ensign Melek.
Because it's security sensors, would I be able to scan for security?
Well, security sensors is the ship. So you can definitely help with that. But con insight is the person. The person that's what they're scanning. And Andrew, you said you have a what? What do you
I have a 12. Would he do better?
In insight?
Because I have a 2 for con and 10 for insight.
So he has a 9 in insight and a 5 in con.
So he would have a better.
He has a 14.
So I'm going to ask him to assist me. Can I do that?
Okay. Yep.
So because I can roll my 3 because it's still the same field of study.
Yep.
And I will have him assist me, and then I will have the computer sensors assist me as well.
Okay, so Mike, you want to roll for security sensors from the ship then?
Sure.
9.
I'll wait for Michael.
3.
Nice.
I have a 6.
Nice.
So what did you have, Andrew?
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
And I still get the focus, right?
No, not of radiation, no.
Okay. I did not do well. I didn't get any successes, so I'm going to use my
How many successes did he need?
1.
Well, you got it because you got a 6.
No,
and Mike-
he needed 3, and Mike got 1 from the ship, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I got 1 from his Melek, so
Sorry,
that's 2.
I thought you meant. Okay.
So I'm going
So-
to use because I didn't get any 6, so I'm going to use my technical expertise to reroll
Okay.
one of my dice. I still didn't get it. That was a 20. So I'm going to use a momentum
Okay.
to reroll because I do not want a 20.
Yeah.
No.
There we go. I got a 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Did it.
Very, very good. Okay. I go back to my thing. Okay. So this is what you see.
Now, am I the only one seeing it because it's on? Am I using the scanner?
You would see this, Andrew, and then the captain would you would tell her, and then she would put it on the main screen.
Okay.
On screen.
So that's generally what you see. That capsule is inside the nebula.
Do we know just by looking at it what it is?
No.
So
I don't.
So looking at
Also.
it, there is nothing. The scans of the ship do not reveal any known species or alliance or
Oh my god, it's
government.
the ape. Get it, grapple it.
It's that monkey man.
Grapple the crap out of that thing.
Okay, well, is that what you want? You want to grapple it?
Yeah, I feel like should we do this next week or what?
But yeah, I'm gonna conclude here in a
Well,
second.
Can I would speak up and say,
Mhm.
should we try to hail it before?
Yes,
Sure.
that would be the sensible thing to do.
Mhm.
Thank you, Sopa.
Very Vulcan of you.
Yeah.
Grab it.
Well,
Destroy
I'm a
it.
human, so I'm impulsive.
Blow it up.
Yeah, so let's hail it.
Engage torpedoes.
Open hailing frequencies.
Okay.
I believe that I am a hailer as communications,
Yep.
chief of
Okay.
communications,
Of course.
So
chief
this
engineer
is
slash communications.
excellent job, Lieutenant
Yes.
Commander. This is Captain Knightley of the U.S.S. Drake. Do you need assistance?
Does John need to roll for attempting it, or?
Yeah, probably.
He can't do the open hailing.
He can.
I mean, would we have to do that every single time we want to hail somebody, though? It doesn't really seem
No.
like
I don't
know.
unless
No, I
there's
don't think so.
interference or something.
Right.
Right. So by opening it, it's always a difficulty 0 thing. So he doesn't need to roll.
Oh, okay. It's if you want to build up momentum.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
We have 3 momentum right now.
So I guess give her a spin, John, if you want, just so we can.
All
I
right,
don't
what
know.
am I spinning?
So John is going to roll control engineering, and somebody can roll communications engineering from the ship.
All right, so that gives me a 16. So I'm rolling 2.
2D, yep, 2 20s.
Oh boy. Okay, I got a 16 on 1, which is exactly the number I would have for
Yep.
adding them up. And then I got a symbol, which I'm pretty sure is a 20.
Oh, the symbol?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but you got a 1 too, you said, right?
No, the symbol's a 1.
Now there's a
Symbol
1
should-
on it. So I'm
Okay.
assuming it's a 20.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So
You
that
got,
kind of
what dice do
cancel
you
each
have?
other out then.
He has different dice.
No.
So isn't a 1 a critical success?
Yes, but he got a 20.
So can't they just cancel each other out?
He didn't get
Just
he didn't get a 1.
regular hailing here.
He got a 16 and a complication. And then
Yeah.
who rolled for the ship?
Oh,
Nobody.
Nobody rolled. Roll communications engineering.
very sad.
Does it use my use my engineering, or is it the ship's
It's the
engineering?
It's the
Ship.
ship's engineering.
So it's 6 plus 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it wouldn't
9.
help if I did it.
9 or under.
I got a 8.
Okay,
Nice.
so 1 success, 2 successes. So that's 2 momentum plus a complication.
Could we use one of the momentum to get rid of the complication?
Yeah.
Do we want to do that?
Is it really that? I mean, we're just hailing. I don't know. Like what I don't know.
Depending
Yeah.
on what the thing
Application.
is, depending on how it could react in a way that we don't realize.
True. Plus, I suppose if we do that, we're back to null because we're back to where we started.
No,
So who
we would
cares?
have, because we are getting 2, so we could just bank one. We could get 1 extra and negate the complication.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, so I'll only get 1.
Okay.
We'll go with that complication.
So you open, right? So you're hailing it, right?
Mhm.
So You say your little thing, right?
Yeah. Do you
And
need
there's nothing.
assistance? Yeah.
Then there's
Nothing?
nothing.
I would just say we're gonna rescue, we're gonna save you. So if you can hear us, respond.
And there's nothing.
happens. And I'm saying, okay, fair warning. And then I tell whoever, I don't know who does it, but
It's Commander.
grapple that thing.
It's
Okay, so
your command first officer.
Okay.
So the interesting thing before we conclude is, in order to grapple it, you have to enter the nebula.
Full of radiation.
That you can see that there is some sort of radiation.
Well, I wouldn't have to enter it all the way, surely. Or yes.
You'd have to
We would
fully
have to
envelop the
enter it.
ship. Fully envelop the ship.
Okay.
The
We had-
question is, do we want to even attempt bringing that to the ship? Because we still don't know what it is.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. But
Because
if
to me, it looks like a gate, like a wormhole.
Oh, interesting. Well, let's table it for next time. We'll see if we can find out some more information. But I mean, if there's even a possibility that it's that ape thing, we gotta find out what we can figure out.
Because it also looks like there's some type of writing on it.
Okay.
And we need to discern whether or not there's a warning or instructions or something like that on the outside.
Okay. So it sounds like
I
we need
can-
more scans. actually.
I can tell you from when who scanned the thing, Andrew.
Yeah.
That you can see from the scanning of the shuttle that it's in language that you don't understand.
Oh, Jahan, can he recognize any of that?
You can have him look at it.
Okay, I feel we gotta wrap it up. It's late.
Okay.
Make notes.
This is good. It's good. You gotta leave it on a cliffhanger, otherwise we get bored.
Yeah. Else we don't want to come back.
Yeah. Boring.
And
Lame-o.
I would make the suggestion of going in a little bit enough to collect the radiation, to test it before going fully.
Okay.
Mhm.
I say we send Sova out in a pod.
Put him on the grappling hook, shoot him in, and pull him back and be like, all right, did anything happen?
I
Doesn't the
also
ship
overheard
have-
that ships have disappeared in this area, so
Yes.
I was listening in on your conversation.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
when
how
he-
many momentum did we end up with?
4.
Question is what would that ship even be doing out here in the first place?
Lots of questions will be answered.
Doesn't our ship have radiation? Like, it would have to have like a yeah. I mean, to be in space
Protecting.
in general, you would have a radiation barrier.
Yeah, you just don't know that you don't know if this radiation is going to penetrate the ship.
Hmm.
Plus, I think we'll all be a little wigged out about that kind of stuff, considering.
It's a
Where we
50-50, and if
come
you're only
from.
in there for 10 minutes, it doesn't matter.
First month and we're already driving into unknown thing.
Yeah. Well, you got your captain who's like, grapple it. Let's go. No questions asked.
At least you don't want to ram everything.
Yeah. No. She's very sensible. She's definitely not impulsive at all.
Say warp 7 into it. Gun it.
Oh gosh.
Everyone
What's
have a
on the
good
other side?
night.
You too,
See ya.
Michael. Have a
Bye,
good
Mike.
one.
Thank you. See you, Mike.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun.
For
Yeah.
Adriel's full murder hermit.
Maybe one day I'll get used to being in the spotlight all the time.
No.
That's why I wanted to do this, so I could get out of.
Well, I think as the captain, I think you'll have very little to do.
I'm a good delegator.
Always the delegator.
Not really. So.
Space. That's my space room.
Okay.
Cool.
This is grass.
I'm gonna end the recording, I think. Right, Will?
Yeah.
Peace.